Hi, grade 7. No, strike that. Grade 6. This is a math video for lesson 7-8. A lot of this video is going to revolve around knowing this proportion. If you know this proportion, then the problems will tend to be hopefully pretty easy. Okay? The proportion says part over base, and we could also say part over whole, or part over the entire amount. Part over base, or part over whole, or part over the entire amount equals the percent over 100. And you're like, huh? Well, let me explain what that means. Okay, let's start with this problem right here. What do we not know in this problem? We don't know the percent value, do we? So I'm going to write a percent formula. And I'm going to leave the percent empty because we don't know what it is. I'm going to write 100 here because it tells me to in the formula. Now, I've got to decide which of these numbers is the part and which one is the base. And here's how you decide. Look for the number that follows the word of. The number that follows the word of is the base, or the bottom number, or the whole, or the entire amount. The number that follows the word of is going to go on the bottom. So, see the word of? See the number 60? 60 goes on the bottom. 15, the only place it can go is right here. And we solve. If I multiply 15 times 100 and divide by 60, you're just going to have to trust me on this. The answer is 25%. Okay? X is 25, and 25 over 100 is 25%. Let's move to this one. Okay? This time, we know the percent. We know the number that follows of, but we don't know this. So again, I rewrite the proportion. I've got 12%, so I'm going to write 12 over 100. I know the number that follows of is 72, so I put that right here. This time, the x is not in the upper right. The x is in the upper left. Okay. So what do we do with that? Well, we take 12 times 72 and divide by 100. I don't know what 12 times 72 is, so let's work out some math. I get 864. 864 divided by 100 is 8.64. And that's our answer, 8.64. 8.64 is 12% of 72. Let's go on to the next one, right here. Use that proportion. Boink, boink, boink. Got 20% here, so I'm going to write 20 over 100. Hey, this time I don't know the number that follows the word of. Do you see that? So that means my x goes down here, and 75 has to go here because it's the only place it can go. Now what do? Solve the proportion. Cross products, multiply the cross products, and divide by the remaining number. I know that 75 times 100 is 7,500. I'm going to divide that by 20. What do I get? I get a 3 for a 60. Bring down a 0. 7 goes into that. Bring down another 0. 5 goes into that. Guess what? I'm done. The answer is 375. So I'm going to write my answer here. Circle it. And let's go on to this problem. But I'm going to pause temporarily. Okay, we're back. Let's look at the next problem. 3 is what percent of 40? I'm going to use this as our guide. I don't know the percent, do I? So that means x over 100. I do know that the number following of is 40, so I put a 40 there. This 3, I got to put it somewhere, so it's going to go there in that slot. That's the part, and this is our base, part and base. We solve for x. 300 divided by 40. I wonder what that equals. 3 times 100 is 300. What's 300 divided by 40? I don't know. It goes into this, how about 7 times? 280, 20, bring down a 0. Oh, it's 7.5. X is 7.5. Okay, let's move on. How about this one right here? What percent of 12 is 9? What percent of 12 is 9? We start with a proportion. I don't know the percent again, so I'm going to write x over 100. 12 follows the word of, so that's got to go on the bottom, and the 9 has to go here. If I take 9 times 100 and divide it by 12, guess what? My x value in this particular case is, oh wait, I got to back up. I forgot to do something. This isn't 7.5, it's 7.5% because it's over 100. And anything over 100, that's the percent value we were seeking. I'm sorry, I missed that. So back here, let's go to this one. If I solve this, I get 75. But it's 75 over 100, so x is 75%. Okay, let's go up one. Oh, 9 is 45% of what number? Start with a proportion. Hey, I know my percent is 45. Do I know the number that follows the word of? No, I don't, so that's my x. And the remaining number 9 has to be there. If I solve this, I'm going to find that x equals 20 in this particular case. 9 times 100 is 900. 900 divided by 45 is 20. Okay, let's try this one. 150%. That's interesting. That means I've got to put 150 over 100, right? I don't know the bottom number because I don't know the number that follows the word of. I do know the 45 though. So what do I do now? I'll take 45 times 100. That's 4,500. And we're going to divide by 150. And that's going to go 30 times. There's my answer, 30. How about this one right here? 8.2% of 50. 8.2% of 50. So I'm going to put 8.2 over the top of 100. 50 follows the word of, so I'm going to put that down here. And I need to find x. Well, if I do the math, x has to be 4.1. Okay? Let's try some other problems over here. Have you noticed, though, that the tricky part about this is making sure we remember when to put a percent sign and when we don't remember to put a percent sign on a problem? If we look at these problems right here, do we see any on here where we're going to need to worry about putting a percent sign on our answer? Hopefully, if I've got this focused right, you can see this one right here is going to be a percent value. This one's going to be a percent value. And this one, we're missing the percent value. So got to keep an eye on that. Okay, let's go to this one right here. Bump, bump, bump. 40% means 40 over 100. This 80 follows the word of, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. And I need an x value, right? If I do the math, 80 times 40 is 3,200. 3,200 divided by 100. My x value equals 32. How about the next one? What percent? So that's x over 100. What percent of 300, that means the 300 goes on the bottom, is 0.6? If I do the math on this, I'm going to end up with, let's see, I don't know what I'm going to end up with. I think it's 0.2. Yep, 0.2. But let's double check. 0.6 times 100 is 60. 60 divided by 300 goes into that. Yep, 0.2. Okay, just for the fun of it, let's look at this problem, which is very similar to this problem, but instead of 0.6, it has the number of 6. So let's see how that one works out. It's same basic problem, x over 100 equals 6 over 300. And in this case, x is going to equal 2. Okay. Let's do the one that's up here. 12% of what number is 24? Well, the 12% goes here, right? 12 over 100. We don't know the number that follows the word of. See that? What number? So I'm going to put the x here. I'm going to put the 24 here. And if that's true, then x, in this case, has to be 200. That's 24 times 100 divided by 12 is 200. How are we doing? Okay. Let's go down here. 80 is 75% of what number? 80 is 75% of what number? Well, that's going to be 75 over 100 equals 80 over x. Why 80 over x? And why not x over 80? Well, look at what follows the word of. We don't know the value, so we make that the x value. So what do we get? 80 times 100 is 8,000. We got to do 8,000 divided by 75. I don't know what that is. So we're going to have to do some work. 0. That goes into that. I don't know. 6 times. Let's try 6 times. 0, 3, 4, 50. Uh-oh. I see some repetition happening there. It's going to end up being 106.6 repeating. And so that's our answer in this case. 106.6 repeating. But if we round to tenths, that would be 106.7. And finally, last problem. What percent of 25 is 30? Can you see that one? I think you can. Bump, bump, bump. What percent? We don't know the percent, so I'm going to go x over 100. 25 follows the word of, and 30 is left over, so we put it up here. Now this might look a little freaky because we've got a bigger number over a little number, but that's okay. We're just going to end up with a percent value that's bigger than 100 in this case. And the answer is 120. But it's not really. Because remember, we were looking for a percent value here. And when it's over 100, that means it's 120%. Okay, 6th graders, hopefully that helps you think through this. Bye.